Well, it is a beautiful night again in downtown Cincinnati and Great American Ballpark, the place to be if you're on two legs or even if you're on four legs. One of our two Imes bark in the park here tonight. The Reds and the Pirates in Game 3 of this 4-game series. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Chris Welsh, I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome, as always, to Reds baseball. Chris, a tough one to lose here last night. The Reds have now lost 4 consecutive one-run games. Nick Massett allowed the home run to Ryan Doumit in the 9th inning, breaking a 1-1 tie. And so far, Nick Massett has not been the same guy we saw in 09.
Well, you know, he was such a teaser because he's got great stuff out there. He can throw the ball upwards 96, 97 miles an hour. But nowadays, that's hitting speed for a guy like Ryan Doumit. But, you know, what Nick Massett showed the Reds last year, you look at the left column, a 237 earned run average. This is all year long. The opponent batting average was down around 200. He didn't hardly walk anybody, only 2.8 walks per 9 innings. But this year, all the crucial numbers are up. The opponent batting average is up. Obviously, the earned run average is up, and so are the walks. But the walks are the significant difference, because what that shows me is that Massett does not yet have the same kind of control of his stuff in the strike zone or out of the strike zone. And when you're going for the outside corner and you throw it down the middle, you end up with what happened last night with Ryan Doumit.
And let's be honest about it. Nick Massett is as important as anybody on this team if the Reds are going to be bona fide contenders here in 2010. They're hoping he'll get it rolling very, very soon, perhaps even tonight. Bronson Arroyo will start it for the Reds. We'll talk more about him and his mound opponent, Ross Ohlendorf, when we come back. Our Reds broadcast is always on Fox Sports Ohio. presented in beautiful high-definition television, courtesy of H.H. Gregg. How about the weather for the rest of tonight? Let's check in once again with Tim Hedrick.
It looks like tonight's game with the Pirates very similar to last night weather-wise. 82 down to 78 by 9 o'clock, and by 11 o'clock we're talking 74 degrees. There will be a few isolated thunderstorms in the area, but most areas remaining dry. Enjoy the ball game.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. The Reds are leaning hard on Bronson Arroyo, and after a slow start like many in the rotation, Chris, he's come on strong.
Well, his last two starts have been pretty good. He went 6 2/3 innings against the Indians. His last start, he got the win there. And he also got the win, obviously, in a 9-inning complete game, 2-run game against the St. Louis Cardinals. He's got his sinker working. I think that's the biggest thing for Bronson Arroyo. His ground ball ratio is up. He's staying away from fly balls. He's not overusing his curveball too much. And for that reason, Bronson Arroyo is beginning to get on one of those Arroyo rolls. You know, he has 1 or 2 real bad games a year, but the rest of the stars seem to be right in there. And I would suspect that tonight, against a predominantly right-handed hitting team, he'll have his way with the Pirates.
It's already the 3rd time this year Arroyo has gone toe-to-toe with these young buccos. He has a win and a loss. What happens tonight? First pitch around the bend. Farm is there. By Ford F-Series trucks, the best-selling trucks 33 straight years. By Just for Men, for mustache and beard, keep your edge. And by Skyline Chili. You know it's Skyline time when you get that craving for a Skyline 3-way or cheese conies. Imes Bark in the Park night tonight. They sold out every ticket made available. 650 dogs are with us tonight. All the fine folks from SPCA of Cincinnati set up an adoption unit out in the dog zone, and I'm sure a few best friends for life will be going home to good homes with any luck later on tonight. Take a look at the Pirates starting lineup. Iwamura leads off at second base. Neil Walker again at third with Andrew McCutchen in center. Garrett Jones in right field. Ryan Doumit, the hero for the Pirates last night behind the plate, and Lastings Milledge in left. A ladder third of Jeff Clement, Ronnie Cedeno, and Ross Ohlendorf. Bronson Arroyo, a 4-2 record, making his 10th start as one complete game.
Well, he's been real good this year about shutting down right-handers. In fact, right-handers are hitting about $188 off of Bronson Arroyo. Left-handers, a little different story. He's using more sinking fastballs and getting more ground balls because of that. Always a good thing here at Great American Ballpark. And curveballs from all angles. And he'll throw overhand curveballs, sidearm curves, fast ones, slow ones. And, of course, that's his calling card. It's been one of the better curveballs in the league for a while. Expect to see it quite a bit tonight.
Take a look at the Reds on defense presented by Ford. They'll go with Drew Stubbs in center field. He'll be flanked by Lance Nix and Jay Bruce. I know those Ford trucks run a lot quicker than that. Along the infield, Roland, Cabrera, Phillips, and Miguel Cairo getting a start in place of Joey Votto over at first base, and a battery of Arroyo and Ryan Hannigan. Dusty Baker talked before this 7-game homestand began. The Reds are in day 13 of a stretch of 20 consecutive days playing baseball, so giving everybody a breather. Cabrera got the night off last night. Rowan has had his spots. Jay Bruce last night as well. Iwamura looks at a strike, and this game is underway. And, of course, tonight, no Joey Votto. 0-1 to count, and it's taken low and away. Votto's been bothered by a stiff neck, but you know, one of those situations where he could be playing tonight, but you got to give him a breather sooner or later against somebody, and tonight it just happens to coincide on a night when he probably could use it. A lot of offense out of that Reds lineup without Joey Votto. Here's a 2-1 to Iwamura. And now 3 balls and a strike. Iwamura hit the fly ball in the 8th inning last night that looked like a routine out in a 0-0 game. But Drew Stubbs lost the ball. In fact, it wasn't a case of losing it. More accurately, he just never saw it. And the ball wound up dropping about 30 feet behind him to go for a triple. And Iwamura draws a walk to begin the game tonight. Neil Walker just brought up from the minor leagues prior to last night's game after Steve Pearce was injured in the opening game Monday. And after Iwamura had that triple in the 8th inning, Walker drove him in with a double to right. Walker having a monster year for their AAA affiliate in Indianapolis. There's a breaking ball in there, a strike. Of course, they'd love to see him do more of that at the big league level. Was batting .321, already 18 doubles, 6 home runs in 43 games. He led the league in doubles, second in extra base hits, and second in total bases at the time of his recall. 1-1.
Well, they'd love to really see this young man do a lot here in Pittsburgh because he's from Pittsburgh. #1 draft pick back in 2004 out of high school and Pine Richland High School. And as a young man, anytime you get a guy from your own hometown, you get him in the first round, and he finally gets to the major leagues and begins to show some of the promise that he thought he had as a prospect, that makes it for an exciting thing.
1-1 to count on Walker, and that misses badly high, and all of a sudden Ryan Hannigan says hang on a minute.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with Bronson Arroyo. He really does not look like he's comfortable throwing the ball where he wants to tonight. Now, sometimes you battle that. Sometimes you come out of the bullpen thinking, hey, I've got great stuff, and you step on the mound, you can't find your rhythm at all. But that was an attempted changeup right there. You see the grip, it just comes out of his hand. Very little arm speed right there. He's just kind of trying to feel it right now. Maybe a little sinker for a ground ball double play combo here.
2-1 to count, and a breaking ball is on the outside corner, a strike to even the count.
You don't see that much in AAA. You go 2-1 On a right-handed pitcher, you're a left-handed hitter, you're thinking, all right, he's probably going to sink a fastball, maybe come inside under my hands, and the guy backdoors you with a little slow curveball at 72 miles an hour.
Iwamura has 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts. Held on over there by Cairo, and after an extended look again into Ryan Hannigan by Arroyo, Walker wants timeout. Two and two to Neil Walker. Ball 3. The Reds falling in the 9th inning. Final count of 2-1 here last night. The St. Louis Cardinals dropped a 1-run decision, 1-0, losing the opening game of their series out at Petco Park in San Diego. So the Reds going to play again tied atop the National League Central Division with the Cardinals, who will play again in San Diego much later tonight. 3-2, runner goes, grounded foul. Take a look at the National League Central Division standings presented by Honda. The Cubs have all of a sudden won 3 straight. Still 2 games under 500, but only 4 behind the co-leaders. Iwamura going again, 3-2, and again it's pulled foul and out of play.
That's down in doggy land there where that foul ball went.
Well, of course, we started this a couple of years ago here, and they only had 1 Bark in the Park night when it began. They sold out every ticket for the very first one. They went to 2 nights last year, and every ticket is long gone the day they put them on sale for both games.
650 people simultaneously yelled fetch when that baby came rolling up there.
3-2 again, and back to Arroyo, and this will be a double play. What a nice play there by Bronson Arroyo on a sharply hit ball by Walker.
Well, the ball hit very sharply by Neil Walker, back right through the middle, but Arroyo is there to stab it on a 1-hop sizzler. He gets it to the shortstop. Cabrera finishes the double play, and even with the runner running, they're able to complete the twin killing. Nice going right there, but it all starts by Arroyo being able to glove that ball coming right back to him.
Bases empty, 2 away for Andrew McCutchen, the Pirates center fielder. And he looks at a first pitch fastball in the inside corner, a called strike. McCutchen has been on base 4 times in the first 2 games of this series, 3 hits. This time a ground ball to Cabrera, and that'll do it. A leadoff walk, a double play, no damage done. The Reds come to bat when we return. starting lineup tonight. None of those guys are in it. Orlando Cabrera leads off at short. Miguel Cairo at first. Brandon Phillips at second. Scott Rowland, the cleanup hitter at third. Jay Bruce back in the lineup in right, and Lance Nixon left. The latter third of Drew Stubbs, Ryan Hannigan, and Bronson Arroyo. Reds get their second look this year at right-hander Ross Ohlendorf. Your impressions of him?
Well, he's a right-hander that he's had trouble with left-handers, very much like Bronson Arroyo has, but lefties has really hit him. He's also had some command problems. He's got a lot of walks. In fact, he's got more walks than strikeouts, and just now getting back into shape after being sidelined with a back injury, put on the disabled list. You know, talking to their pitching coach, Joe Kerrigan, who really characterizes Ohlendorf as being just at the end of spring training right now.
2-0 on Orlando Cabrera. Ohlendorf, 27 years young, born and raised, still makes his home in Austin, Texas. Played collegiately at Princeton University. An all-Ivy League performer there. Originally a fourth-round draft choice by the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he has started the game with a 4-pitch walk to Orlando Cabrera. Take a look at the Pirates defense presented by Ford. Millage, McCutchen, Jones, left, center, and right. Again, Walker, Cedeno, Iwamura, and Clement to start at first base with a battery of Ohlendorf and Doman. Our statistician, Mark Wagner, feeling much better tonight, back with us in the booth, does remind me the Reds did have a doggy who was a star in their lineup for a long time.
Yes, they do, or did.
But great Tony Perez. Here's Miguel Cairo. And there's strike. Cairo in very, very limited playing time, a 182 average, does have 3 runs batted in. Tonight makes his 5th start of the year, his 3rd against the Pirates. Cabrera started and stopped. His last start was in Atlanta. He swung the bat very well when he started that game at third base. Had a couple of hits, scored a run in 4 at-bats, also drew a walk and knocked in a run. But, of course, had a couple of misplays in the field, which allowed Atlanta to come back in that 7-run 9th inning. Cabrera certainly has picked his spots quite well in terms of base stealing this year. A perfect 6 out of 6 so far. Oh, and 2 to Miguel Cairo. Struck him out on a breaking ball.
And Ohlendorf used to feature curveball and slider. Now he's pretty much gone with only the slider right there. Stays right on top of that and gets a strikeout.
Well, with Joey Votto out of the lineup, Brandon Phillips, for only the 2nd time the entire year, bats in the 3-hole. Those are the only 2 games where Joey Votto did not start. Votto has started all but now 2 of the games batting in that 3-hole. Brandon hit career home run number 100 here last night. It tied the game in the bottom of the 8th inning. It was a long home run out beyond the Reds bullpen in the deepest part of left center field.
It's interesting the way the Pirates play their defense in the outfield. They play like the Reds aren't going to be able to pull the ball at all. They did that last night with Paul Maholm on the mound. Right-handers, they've got him shifted way around here. This is where Lasting's Millage is. Giving a lot of line to left field line for any right-handed hitter that wants to pull it down that way.
Fastball in, 2 balls and no strikes to Brandon.
And that may just be an indication that the Reds or the Pirates are going to pitch Brandon Phillips away, but they shaded Cairo the same way. They shaded Orlando Cabrera the same way as well.
Off the outside edge, 3-0 now to Phillips.
Yeah, you know, Ohlendorf has kind of a herky-jerky motion. He's a big guy, 6 feet 4 inches tall, 230 or 240 pounds. But, you know, you get all those body parts going in different directions, and it doesn't look like he's real fluid with anything. And nothing really tells me it's conducive to him throwing a lot of strikes with that particular delivery.
3-0 now to Phillips, and he'll take a strike on the inside corner.
Not quite as wild out of the set as it is out of the full windup, but he's a little herky-jerky right at the end right there. Not all that long of a stride, but really locks out his front leg. You see that knee lock out right there? That can throw you off.
It's taken ball 4, and that's 2 walks already tonight for Ohlendorf through the first 3 batters of the game.
This is what I'm talking about. When you go to the front with your front leg, and when you land, he doesn't have all that long of a stride. He just kind of lays it out there, and then when he lands and then really straightens it out right there. And when you pitch off that big of a stiff front leg, you're going to have a good sinking action on your fastball, yes, but that little herky-jerkiness that it gives you is going to throw your head off and also the release point of your arm off a little bit. And that may be one explanation as to why he has now 15 walks on the year and only 10 strikeouts. That's not the kind of ratio that you aspire to get to.
So now Scott Rowland, a scoring chance right from the very first inning tonight for the Reds. Walks to Cabrera and Phillips, 1 out, and Rowland waits. Breaking ball, that's a good one from Ohlendorf, strike 1.
You're looking fastball right there. I imagine that Scott Rowland was ready to pepper on any fastball right down the middle, so good idea by Ohlendorf to mix it up.
Pirate outfield again really overplaying defensively, shading Rowland to hit the ball the other way. And they come inside with a fastball and miss a ball and a strike. Cabrera and the trail runner take off, and no chance, not even a throw. Well, Ohlendorf, so tall, takes so long getting rid of the ball out of the stretch position. No chance for Doman.
Well, he also falls into a pattern. He takes one look at second base and then goes back to the plate, never looks back again. And that's what smart base runners are going to figure out immediately. If you fall into a pattern where they can pretty much predict what you're going to do, they're going to take an advantage of you. All Phillips has to do is watch Orlando Cabrera. He's the lead runner.
So the double steal, 2 runners in scoring position, and that's a fastball that runs inside to Rowland. 3 balls and a strike. Rowland going into play tonight, tied with Johnny Gomes for the second most RBIs on the team, each with 27. Trailing only the club leader Joey Votto, who has 33. Pitch to Rowland, and he pops it up. This will not bring in a run. 2 outs in the inning. it's up to Jay Bruce to try and get the Reds on the board here in the bottom of the first inning. Jay did not start the game last night. He did pinch hit and grounded out in the 8th inning. Ohlendorf taking all kinds of time to try and gather himself prior to this at bat with Jay Bruce. Took his glove off, went all the way back behind the mound, put the glove back on, the hat back on, and he's ready to go. Jay Bruce. Cabrera the runner at third, Phillips on at second, and that's a fastball knee high on the outside corner to get ahead, 0-2.
That's the best fastball that Ohlendorf has thrown tonight. On the knees, on the black. He's got a heavy fastball. I mean, in the terms of his pitching coach will tell you, he's like throwing a shot put up there, but it's all about location and his problems with command. He's thrown 2 good ones to Bruce.
Came back with a breaking ball and nicely blocked by the catcher Ryan Domet, keeping Cabrera at third base and Phillips at second.
Oh, you're not kidding about that. I mean, he did that in classic style. Knew he wasn't going to be able to just glove that baby because it was so short, had such spin on it. He just tried to tilt his chest forward and keep the chest protector in the way. His manager, former catcher, likes that action.
Getting ready to say, I'm sure he appreciates it. One ball and 2 strikes to Bruce. Struck him out and the inning is over. Reds leave 2, end of 1, no score. Call 1-800-ELK Ohio. Sam LeCure, still no official decision made as to who will take Homer Bailey's spot, Chris, on Friday night in the opener against Houston, but this guy's on a roll.
Yeah, we congratulate him for being the International League Player of the Week. Last week he was 2-0, did not give up a run. This season overall, 5-2 with a 2.5 earning. According to his manager, Rick Sweet, far and above the best starter the Louisville Bats have had all year long.
Of course, the other guy that's been on quite a roll here lately after his slow start, left-hander Matt Maloney. And it figures to be one of those 2 guys on Friday night. Still no decision made as of yet, or at least none that we have been told about. So we'll wait it out just like you will. We know the Reds are going to need that 5th spot in the rotation Friday. And then a very big start 5 days later, the finale of the 3-game series in St. Louis next Wednesday. Grounded headed down to Cairo. They'll wave off Arroyo and Garrett Jones taken care of to begin the Pittsburgh second inning. Well, we told you yesterday in our conversation with Dusty Baker about all the things you take into account when you're trying to make a decision when you have 2 or 3 guys down at the AAA level that are more than capable of up here and pitching in the big leagues, and perhaps all 3 will stay in the big leagues one day down the road. LeCure, Maloney, Travis Wood, who went down to his final start in spring training, was edged out by Mike Leake for the 5th spot to begin the year in the rotation. And naturally talked about, well, the first thing you have to look at is, who's on schedule to pitch. That one hammered foul by Doman. And either Maloney or LeCure would certainly fit that bill. One would be working on 4 days rest. The other would be working on 5 days rest. And then, Chris, you ask yourself, of the opponent that you're going to be playing, are they more susceptible to good right-handed pitching or left-handed pitching?
It's easy to overmanage it. If you let all those variables start, getting involved in your decision making, as opposed to going with really who's throwing the ball the best, who sizes up the best, and who do you think is going to do the best job? I mean, you're really going to use them for more than just one start, presumably. So if it's LeCure, it's his major league debut. If it's Matt Maloney, it's something that we've seen last year. Maloney pitched some very good ball for the Reds last year. Travis Wood down there, win-loss wise, has struggled a little bit, 2-4, but overall he's thrown the ball pretty good. And Aroldis Chapman right now, of course, sidelined with a little bit of a blister problem. Not sure exactly when he'll be back on the mound in the game. He's throwing some side sessions to make sure that finger's going to be okay. But the good thing is that the Reds have pitchers to choose from down there. How many years have we seen over the years that there was only one guy really that was a logical choice to become a major leaguer in the event you have an injury? And the Reds have it seems like a whole staff of them that they feel like are good enough who can step right in. And remember that towards the end of the year, you're also looking at Edinson Volquez as a possible pitcher to come up here and help the staff.
Edinson trying to come all the way back from a Tommy John surgery from last year. And, of course, the year before that, he was a National League All-Star. Getting right into the shift. That is the shortstop, Cabrera, throwing out Ryan Doman. They're 2 away in the Pirates' second. Reds and Pirates wrap this series up tomorrow night. Again, a 7:10 start. Tickets are available. For the Astros come a-calling over the Memorial Day weekend. Johnny Cueto starts tomorrow night against right-hander Charlie Morton. The decision the Reds have to make about Friday starting, and then Aaron Harang and Mike Leake to complete the series and the homestand. Reds live tomorrow night, 6:30 here on Fox Sports Ohio. First pitch, 7:10. Cueto among the hottest pitchers in all of Major League Baseball going into his start mañana. Lastings Milledge, a .264 batter without a home run and 15 knocked in. Take a look at those shoes that Lastings Milledge is sporting tonight.
They look fast, don't they?
Man. Well, he can run fast to first base on this fly ball to right and then make a left turn and head straight out to left field. He could don those for the Pirates or the Steelers.
Oh, he threw a slider there, a curveball there. For me, it's all the same pitch. I'm using the exact same grip. The only difference is I'm changing a slight bit of arm angle to try to not be so noticeable to the hitter, but be able to move the ball instead of, let's say, from a 12-6 plane to make it a little flatter, maybe like a 2-10 or 2-8.
Our Geico Direct quote from CBS Tech Talk. You getting together with Bronson Arroyo.
He's the expert on curveballs, I'll tell you that. Got a good feel of it. Been using it for a long time.
Scoreless game as the Reds come to bat against Ross Ohlendorf here in the bottom of the second inning. Lance Nix to lead things off. He'll be followed by Drew Stubbs and then Ryan Hannigan. Lance used as a pinch hitter last night. And you know about all the damage he did in 3 consecutive starts on the last road trip. He had 8 hits in 3 games. Homered in each of the 3 games. And knocked in 7 runs. Fly ball to short right here, and coming on to get it is Garrett Jones for out number 1. Reds had a scoring chance in the first. They had runners at second and third and only 1 out. And their cleanup hitter Scott Rowland in a 3-1 count, but Rowland popped up and then Jay Bruce struck out to end the inning. Base hit for Drew Stubbs. So the Reds have their first hit tonight against Ohlendorf, and it happens to be their best base stealer, Drew Stubbs. Stubbs had 3 hits, you may remember, in the series opener and knocked in a couple of runs. Took an 0 for 3 last night and bangs one into left his first time up tonight. Drew has 11 steals on the year and 13 attempts. Now Ryan Hannigan.
Well, he's going to be very conscious of Drew Stubbs over at first base. Ohlendorf has already given up 1 double steal on the night, a couple of stolen bases against him. Although prior to tonight, only 1 stolen base all year in 4 of his starts. Stubbs would probably like to measure his move a little bit so he knows how far he can get off first base.
Hannigan, a .324 batter, couple of home runs and 17 batted in. He takes low and in, ball 1.
Well, you know, a lot of options open for Dusty Baker right here if he chooses to put the running game in motion. You could do a run and hit. You could do a hit and run. Similar, but not exactly the same. Ryan Hannigan, a very good contact hitter, and of course Drew Stubbs, the fleetest of all Reds.
Two and 0. Away from the first baseman Clement. So taking second base is Drew Stubbs on a throwing error from the Pirate pitcher.
Now, it looks like every time Ohlendorf decided to go over there, it was a quick move. He holds it a long time, Fires it over, and that ball really should have been caught by Clement. I think that he lost it at the same time the ball was so close to Stubbs going back in and went right over the helmet of Stubbs. Ohlendorf would get charged with the error, but it really ought to be an error on the first baseman. Regardless, runner goes to second base.
So now another runner in scoring position. The Reds had 2 of them when the first inning came to an end. Good pitch here on the outside corner, 2-1 to Hannigan. A breaking ball and just missed the outside corner. Now 3 balls and a strike to Hannigan. Stubbs taking a looking around at the Pirate outfield. And Ohlendorf still looking into Doman. And now the 3-1 pitch to Ryan Hannigan. Nope.
Come on, Hannigan!
Well, you can even see the body language of the Pirate defenders behind Ohlendorf. Second baseman Iwamura, hands on knees. Same thing with 2 or 3 of their outfielders. And now Ohlendorf is finally ready to throw the ball to the plate. And there's ball 4. Of course, here's an old adage. The longer you hold it, the less chance they have to whack it. Sunday, NASCAR on Fox moves to Charlotte, where David Rudiman will try to defend his title and take home the checkered flag for a second straight year. The Coca-Cola 600 from Charlotte begins Sunday at 5 p.m. in high definition only on Fox. Of course, Charlotte last weekend, they had the very first induction class in the newly created NASCAR Hall of Fame. That'll be a big event this weekend.
Well, you're not kidding. That is Charlotte Motor Speedway, the beast of the Southeast. Can't wait.
Yeah. Beautiful bunt by Arroyo, and losing his footing is Doman, and everybody's safe. That'll be a bunt hit for the Reds pitcher.
Well, it was an obvious bunt situation. Everybody was charging on it. The third baseman's coming in. The pitcher's coming in. The catcher seems to want to get it. And there you see Ryan Doman trying to dig his cleats in. The grass gave way. He falls down, and Bronson Arroyo not only gets a sacrifice, no sacrifice there, will get a base hit. He was 14 for 15 last year, Bronson Arroyo was. He was one of the better bunters in all the league as far as pitchers go. And they've got him loaded now for the top of the order.
All right, Orlando Cabrera. He walked, went to second on another walk, stole third, was stranded there in the first inning, and now the bases loaded, only 1 out. He takes up an in for ball 1. You got to take advantage of this situation in this inning.
Well, you got to figure now a fastball coming if you're Orlando Cabrera. Misses first pitch, bases loaded with a breaking ball. His bread and butter is a fastball. Look for something you can get your arms extended on.
Cabrera, you saw there a moment ago, has never hit a grand slam in his career. But this will be plenty enough to get the first run of the game in. Jones makes a catch, tagging and scoring is Drew Stubbs. So Cabrera gives the Reds a 1-0 lead here in the second inning. Miguel Cairo struck out on 3 pitches his first at bat. He has runners at first and second. Now 2 away here in the inning. And there's a base hit into right field by Cabrera. They're going to wave around Hannigan. Here comes a throw by Jones. The one hopper, and the tag is made for the final out of the inning. Well, with 2 outs in the inning, why not? They took a chance. Jones made a nice play. Center field during our game tonight. Jeremy Lerner of Cincinnati will win the beautiful new Tundra on display every night here at the ballpark. And if you'd like to have a chance to win in an upcoming game, all you got to do is stop by your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. Good luck, Jeremy. I suppose it could be Jerome. We were told Jeremy. Tonight, Imes Bark in the Park night. Of course, Imes does so much great work, not only selling their dog food. Of course, they're a subsidiary of Procter & Gamble here in Cincinnati. But they've done so much to help various animal shelters around this area, including SPCA. They're helping to redo their older facility of the SPCA over on Coleraine Avenue. They opened that beautiful new facility up on Condrey Road in the Blue Ash, Sharonville area. I mean, what a facility that is, but the one on Coleraine needs some work, and the folks at Imes and P&G and their employees are making that happen. So thank you very much. The Reds have a 1-0 lead as the Pirates bat against Bronson Arroyo here in the 3rd inning. Clement, Cedeno, and Ohlendorf 2 up. And it's 0-2 to Clement. Grounded foul. It remains 0-2 on Clement. Clement, 26 years old, born and raised, still makes his home in the state of Iowa. Swung on and fouled out of play. You don't see a lot of big leaguers come out of Iowa. See a lot of great athletes come out of Iowa, that's for sure. And then went all the way to the University of California to play collegiately. Clement, in fact, won the Johnny Bench Award his final year in 2005 at USC. That is given to the nation's top catcher. He was also a finalist for the Golden Spikes Award. That's to college baseball's best player, sort of like the Heisman Trophy. 0-2 to Clement. And he's hanging around.
Now the Mariners plucked him in the first round of the 2005 amateur draft. And traded him from there to the Pirates.
Struck him out, did Arroyo on a high fastball, and that's Bronson's first strikeout tonight. Well, this legendary performance is brought to you by Cabot Wood Stains. Home run number 100 in the career of Brandon Phillips. It came here in the 8th inning last night. Congratulations, Brandon Phillips. Had the neighbors out working on their deck last night, the last couple of days, getting that baby sanded down, putting the stain on. You're good at that kind of work, aren't you, Chris?
Getting ready for a big shindig you're having over there this weekend?
Well, our neighbors, and I'm sure that we would not be invited.
Well, it doesn't mean you can't go like you
crash.
Yeah.
Just jump over the fence. And,
good old days.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I think it's a very good idea. I said the same thing to my wife. Here's strike 3 to Cedeno. He's gone on 3 straight pitches.
Oh, whatever shakiness Bronson Arroyo had in the first inning, he seems to have shaken it. Walked the first batter of the game, got a ground ball, shot back up the middle for a double play, but he goes right after the bottom part of this lineup with a whole bunch of fastballs, nicely placed ones as well.
Breaking ball, strike 1 to Ohlendorf.
You know, we used to see Bronson Arroyo go up the ladder a little bit more a couple of years ago. And then last year, he seemed to get more involved in throwing the ball down around the knees, trying to use more sinkers and so on. And this year, going back a little bit more often up the ladder to try to get a strikeout.
Arroyo's fanned the first 2 here in the 3rd inning. A strike away from fanning the side. And missed with a breaking ball on the inside corner. 2-2. And he does strike out the side. Arroyo's faced the minimum through 3 and has a 1-0 advantage. presented by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. We apologize to many of you last night. We were having all kinds of computer issues here at the ballpark, and Hal had stopped in the booth and asked us to let everybody at home know, sorry that he wasn't responding to anybody, but even your computer was going haywire, and you've been loaded up with all the top secret stuff.
Yes, I do. Still have it.
Brandon Phillips to lead off the Reds. Third inning, the Reds in front 1-0. One run, 3 hits for the Reds, and Ohlendorf has already walked 3 batters in the game. He's extremely fortunate to be behind just by the single run. Excuse me, swing that nearly hit Jay Bruce, standing on the 3rd step in the Reds dugout. In fact, that may have hit him. I think it did hit him.
Well, that's why they call it in the hole, don't they? Guy on deck, in the hole or on double deck. And he was right in the stairwell, and he got him on the right arm.
Brandon taking a long time to get back in there, but that's nothing compared to Ohlendorf.
Ohlendorf really slows it down with runners on base. In fact, it almost is like he's obsessed with those base runners. First inning, he hasn't had any. Because it's the first batter of the inning.
You know, it's really hard to believe that he doesn't get charged with a ball during the course of an at-bat. With the frequency with which he'll take off his glove, he'll go back to the rosin bag. He will literally rub down his entire arm, both of them, not just his pitching arm, but his other arm. Nice play by Walker. He'll throw out Phillips. Well done by Neil Walker at 3rd base, 1 away in the inning.
Walker made a couple of nice plays last night. One a slow roller play that he came charging hard for, but he shows a lot of range for a 3rd baseman right here. Ranging way to his left, and Ross Ohlendorf likes it a little bit.
So now Scott Rowland with 1 out and nobody on. Rowland had a chance to do some damage in the 1st inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd and only 1 out. And he popped up to the right side of the infield. He's thrown out this time by the shortstop Cedeno, and they're 2 away in the inning. Now Jay Bruce, he ended the 1st inning by striking out. First pitch fastball, a good one by Ohlendorf, strike 1. Tardy on a fastball is Bruce, and he's behind 0-2. A couple of games already underway in the National League. A lot of action out west later tonight, including, as we mentioned earlier, the Cardinals. Jaime Garcia, good-looking left-handed rookie, will be on the mound against Kevin Correa, the Padres. And also later tonight, it'll be Arizona, Colorado, Washington, and San Francisco. And Tim Lincecum will be on the mound tonight. Winner of back-to-back National League Cy Young Awards. Inning over. 1-2-3 go the Reds. We move to the fourth, and the Reds lead 1-0. By your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers, where you can register to win the Tundra at Great American Ballpark. By JTM Food, Family Fun, JTM. Geico, where 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by GMC, we are professional grade. All the rivers around the area still very high with all the rain we had last week. Starting to settle in a bit with bright sunshine now for 4 straight days. On Imes Bark in the Park night. Did you see that fella right there was turned around looking right in the camera? That last shot. Getting kisses from your buddy there. Foul out of play. Or just taking a snooze. Wow, that's living large right there. Oh, and to the count. To Iwamura, the fastball is off the outside corner. Iwamura, the only Pirate to reach base thus far, led off the game when he drew a walk. Arroyo got a double play to the very next batter and has faced the minimum through 3. And back to Arroyo. Tall, slender right-hander able to reach up there and get it on away. Well, I'm assuming Chris Welsh was helped out tonight with our AT&T trivia question. Who is the only Pirate to win the National League Rookie of the Year award? Did you get some help?
I did, and I forgot the answer. So we'll have to go from scratch.
You're kidding, right? I mean, you're kidding me, right?
Let's have a little discussion about it. Everybody guesses?
I was counting on you, based on our conversation last night, to start helping me a little bit by, giving some clues or a hint. More importantly, giving clues or a hint to those that are kind enough to tune us in on Fox Sports Ohio. And to find out that you actually were told the answer and you don't remember is a little disturbing.
Well, I wasn't exactly told the answer. It was on our format page. But going back, I mean, you wouldn't think Barry Bonds would have won it, would you?
Well, he would be a very good guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure there's ever been a player in the history of the league. Roberto Clemente would be another one. Willie Stargell would be a guess.
I'm told, however, that it's much more recent than that. As in much more recent. A player from the 2000s.
Well, no, Jason Kendall came up long before that.
Yeah.
He's been in the league a long time. That was a guy I was kind of thinking maybe. Did Jason Bay come over in a trade, or did he start with the Pirates?
He came up with the Pirates.
But he did not play for somebody else before the Pirates.
I don't believe so, no.
Right.
If he did, he didn't have enough at-bats to qualify somewhere else. So is that your final answer?
No, because I really don't know. Fly ball into left center field. And there are 2 away in the inning. I don't think any of their pitchers were rookies. Those the young guys they had there together. Mahalam was with that group. They had Ian Schnell. They had Gorzelani. Right. I know Gorzelani had one really good year, but I don't think it was his rookie year.
And it wasn't a Rookie of the Year caliber year.
Two down for McCutchen. Reds with a 1-0 lead. We're in the 4th. And it's in the air. Orlando Cabrera gliding to short left field. And a 1-2-3-4 for Bronson Arroyo. Reds in front, 1-0. Works at Great American Ballpark this Friday, presented by KOI. Come on down. We'll have live music from the Rusty Griswolds right after the Reds and the Astros. There's a high fly ball into right center field off the bat of Nix. 1 pitch and 1 out. As we open the bottom of the 4th inning, the Reds leading 1-0. You can call 381-REDS or go to Reds.com to get tickets for this Friday night or any games on the stand. All right. Our AT&T Trivia question answered. The only Pirate to win the National League Rookie of the Year award. Jason Bay, 0-4. Of course, you knew that already. Old adage about the future so bright. I've got to wear shades.
You know, you're right about Jason Bay, though. He started his major league career with the San Diego Padres in 2003. Only had 3 games and 8 at-bats. But he batted in that rookie year with the Pirates. 2000, I guess it was 2004 that he won the Rookie of the Year. But in 2003, he had 79 at-bats and gave the Pirates an inkling of what he could do. He batted .291 that year. In his rookie year where he won it, he batted .287.
That's against Arizona's Matt Manti. What year was that?
2004. In fact, he had 26 home runs, 82 runs batted in, and 282 batting average, nailing down that Rookie of the Year award.
No. I'm sorry. When he hit that home run as a member of the San Diego Padres.
03.
I don't even know Manti was still around, and I was there in 03. I was surprised it was 03. Well, 99 he came over, and then he was hurt. I didn't realize he was still around in 03. All right. Two on Stubbs. And the fastball is inside and low.
Well, where it looks like the Reds had Ross Ohlendorf on the ropes in the first inning and then again in the second inning, and now, he's beginning to get his rhythm going. Got a big motion, big rocking fire.
Well, they'll never throw Stubbs out here, and in fact, a poor decision there by Walker. It's where you got to know the opponent. Stubbs, among the fastest runners in all of Major League Baseball, was never going to be thrown out there.
Well, you said it exactly right, Tom. You have to know the opponent. And I think that Neil Walker is just trying to impress, maybe just a little bit too much, trying to make something out of nothing right here. That's a base hit for a lot of guys, but by the time the ball is even over there, Drew Stubbs is about 3 or 4 steps past the first base bag. That's why you have a back pocket.
So a runner at second, 1 out for Ryan Hannigan. An identical situation to the way the second inning began. Nix with a fly ball to right in the second, again in the fourth. Stubbs with a base hit. An error sent him to second base. And back in the second inning, Hannigan then followed with a walk. Ryan wound up being thrown out at the plate for the final out in that second inning by Garrett Jones in right field. And now breaking his Stubbs, and they have him in a rundown. Tagged out at third.
First time we've seen that inside move work all year long. It's where the pitcher lifts his leg up as if he's going to home plate and then simply turns toward second base. They call it the inside move right here, and sometimes it works, but only when the runner's going to be going. And he does there, feeds it off to the third baseman, and done perfectly.
Well, Dusty Baker can't be happy about that.
Well, not really any difference, though, ultimately, between that and being thrown out. Just trying to steal third base.
We'll see if that comes back to bite the Reds later in the game. It's only a 1-0 game here in the fourth inning, and that would have driven in a run. And you can say, well, you never know, but one thing you do know is it won't drive in a run when the guy's picked off.
Well, the other thing you do know is that Ryan Hannigan is swinging a sweet bat this year. He walked for the 13th time against only 6 strikeouts his first time up. This time he takes a pitch low and away, just drives it right the other way. Makes it look so simple. What a different approach, a just refreshing look at the way he approaches his whole at bat.
Now Arroyo, he had a bunt single his first time up. Fouls this one away. He's down a strike. 2 hits and 20 at bats overall for Arroyo, but has made the most of his 2 base hits. He has 3 RBIs.
I'll tell you what, with the way that Mike Leake swings the bat, he's raised the bar of standards a little bit for the rest of this pitching staff. I mean, Leake's batting .368, leaving everybody else in the dust. Cueto's at .250. Harang's at .200. Pressure's on Arroyo to get a couple of knocks.
2-2 now to Arroyo. Of course, Leak allowed 10 hits in 7 1/3 innings here last night. And just the 1 run on what turned out to be a lost ball in center field as there's strike 3 to win the inning. So again, the Reds miss a chance. A base running mistake cost them a run. First career home run for Barry Bonds. I think that was Craig McMurtry. The opposite way for Barry. Of course, he wound up becoming baseball's all-time career home run leader. To the chagrin of many, to the elation of some.
I may write that down. Got it.
1-0 ball game as we begin the 5th inning. Garrett Jones, Ryan Doman, Lastings, Millage. I got a question for you, though, in all seriousness, about Barry Bonds.
All right.
And I'm not getting into the whole thing about the HGH and the steroids. I'm not going down that road.
Okay.
But are you a little surprised that over the last year or two that there's not been a team out there in Major League Baseball that's not been willing to give him a chance to come back and play?
The first year I was surprised that somebody wouldn't have stepped up and said, you know, we could use this guy either off the bench or wherever. But after that initial rejection, from then on, I think most every Major League team just turned the page.
0-2 on Garrett Jones. A fastball is taken high.
I mean, it's not like he was willing to work for nothing. Remember Andre Dawson went to the Cubs and said, you just fill in the check and I'll play. Well, Barry wasn't going to do that. And I think that whatever club may have decided to sign him would have had some PR issues one way or another. Maybe they just decided that it wasn't worth the trouble. But I have to tell you, before any of the allegations of HGH or performance-enhancing drugs, he was the best player I ever saw.
No doubt about it.
I mean, he was the best left fielder I ever saw. I mean, you couldn't hit a double to left field in Pittsburgh because he was there to cut the ball off and get it back in the infield as well as anybody. One
1-2 to Garrett Jones. leading off the Pirate 5th inning. And a liner into right, and it'll fall in front of Jay Bruce, the first Pirate hit of the night. That ends a string of 11 in a row. Arroyo walked the first batter, got a double play ball to start the run of 11 straight batters retired.
Well, he's got a pretty good golf swing right there, Garrett Jones does, because he picks that baby right off his shoe tops. I mean, you don't feel so bad if you're a pitcher, you give up a base hit on a pitch like that, because that will not happen very often.
Ryan Domet, the batter, and again they put on the big shift for the left-handed batter. And that's just a little bit low. It's only the second batter the entire night that Arroyo has not started with a strike. The other, the very first batter of the game. One and 0 to Ryan Domet. 2-0. The Dodgers have jumped in front of the Cubs in the very first inning. A 3-0 lead at Wrigley Field. Second game of that 3-game series. And of course the Cubs will entertain the Cardinals at Wrigley Field in Chicago over the weekend before the Reds go to St. Louis starting on Memorial Day this Monday. That, by the way, will be the next start for Bronson Arroyo. That'll be a very odd starting time, by the way, on Memorial Day. That'll be 4 o'clock Cincinnati time, 3 o'clock Central time. And Phillips watches as Cabrera fields, and the Reds, do they get the out at second? Yes. The runner ran out of the baseline and is called out. And Domet is safe at first on a fielder's choice.
Garrett Jones does a nice job right here. Instead of just running right into the tag, he's going to go around Brandon Phillips, which takes or Cabrera, that is, and takes him out of the baseline a little bit, takes enough time in so doing that the Reds are unable to complete the double play. You know, that makes it kind of an odd situation, though, when you've got the whole infield shifted over to the right side of second base and the ground ball is to the shortstop. That's the only way you're going to turn a double play, is that shortstop has to boot scoot it to the bag himself because the third baseman can't get there to cover. So you really have an odd way of turning a double play. Had there not been the shift on, that's an easy double play ball. The shift gives and takes away.
I'm going to write that down.
Okay.
Shift gives, takes. That's nice. To Lasting's Millage, and it's fouled off out of play to the first base side.
Hey, want to welcome a huge Reds fan to one of our broadcasts. I mean, he watches every night from up in Middletown. Huey Higdon. He's a former scout for the Philadelphia Phillies and Texas Rangers. And we got a little nice note from your pastor, Chuck Cotton, to let us know that you're in the house. You're right with us every night, Huey. So keep it up. Go Reds.
Indeed. Millage to finally get back in the box before this 0-2 pitch. And again, it's in the air and foul ground, and again it will drop out of play.
You know, a lot of people compare Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, two river towns, quite a bit. I'll give you a little information you probably don't know is that one of the bridges over in Pittsburgh right now that is closed, under repair, and when it reopens later this year, it will bear the name of one of Mon Valley's most fabled natives, and that would be Stan Musial. The bill to rename the bridge was just approved this week by the Senate Transportation Committee.
Very nice. So he'll have a bridge named after him where he grew up. And then where he turned into a Hall of Fame baseball player, he has a statue outside of Busch Stadium.
Yes, he does. And we'll be taking a look at that next week.
One and two again to Millage. And a breaking ball sweeps low and away to even a count. Well, Lasting's now going to work on the helmet a couple of times. Make sure the uni's lined up. And now back in there and ready to go. The 2-2 pitch. Wow, I didn't miss by much. Runner goes on a 3-2, and it's in the air and pretty well hit to right field, but Jay will have room. Crossing into foul ground makes a catch. So a pretty good battle right there between Arroyo and Millage, and Bronson wins it. Well, as you know, when the Reds get it done with an RBI this season, that means another $25 from Shakely goes for the Reds Community Fund. Shakely, it's done. Bronson has thrown more pitches already, 17 of them in this inning, than he's thrown in any inning in the entire game.
That's still not bad.
Not bad at all.
I mean, 17 is the norm for a lot of pitchers we know.
That one laced into left field. It'll fall in. Lance able to knock it down, and he'll get it back quickly into Cabrera. That'll be a double for Clement. And on to third goes Doman.
For a guy that did not look good at all his first at bat against Bronson Arroyo, Jeff Clement really looks good in that at bat. Lets the pitch get deep on him, rifles it very sharply in the left field.
Well, now they're going to go ahead and intentionally walk Ronnie Cedeno. You can understand this in a 1-0 game. Runners at second and third, and a base open with a pitcher spot due up next. They're going to force Ohlendorf to be the guy to drive in the runs if they're going to score at all here in this fifth inning. Here's your old buddy, going way back to Montreal, Joe Kerrigan.
Yeah, we talked a little bit today. Also got reunited with an old teammate of mine who's the bullpen coach down there, Ray Searage. You don't see too many left-handed pitchers as bullpen coaches. Pirates have one.
All right, they're loaded for Ohlendorf, who is 0 for 6 as a batter this year. He struck out his only time up tonight. And there's strike one at the knees. Arroyo will work out of the stretch with the bases loaded. His team in front 1-0 in the fifth. And the 0-1 to Ohlendorf is popped up. And Arroyo says, I have it. And that'll do it. So the Pirates leave them loaded, getting their first 2 hits of the night. Middle of the fifth, the Reds in front by a run. in attendance. But again, a reminder, because they're not going to make it in time, you will receive a voucher good for this very special collectible of Reds first baseman Joey Votto, thanks to Champion Window and Patio Rooms. The voucher is one of 3 ways you can get it. If you come to any other Reds home game the rest of the year, bring your voucher and you'll get it that night. You can go to the Reds Hall of Fame anytime after June 11th during business hours. Bring your voucher, pick one up there, or just mail it in and the team will send it back to you. And because you had to go through this, they will offer you a half-price ticket to a future Reds game. Classy move by the Reds, and clearly beyond their control. But the Joey Votto figurines are not going to be in the Cincinnati in time for Saturday night's game. Cabrera leading off the Reds' 5th. First pitch swinging, 1 out on a fly ball to Jones and right. Well, outside of the 3rd inning, it's been a tight wire act tonight for Ohlendorf. But he's hanging in there. Reds had runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out in the 1st inning. Failed to score. They got a run on a sac fly by Cabrera, and then the Reds had a runner thrown out of the plate. And then with Stubbs at 2nd, he took off a little early, wound up getting picked off by Ohlendorf. The next batter had a base hit, but no run. So 1-0. That hit by Cairo was the 900th of his major league career, so congratulations to him. And this one is launched into left field down the line. And Miguel Cairo, his first home run as a Red.
Now the kind of an emergency fill-in duty for Miguel Cairo. Hit a nice sharp single to right field his first time up and gives this one a pretty good lick to left field on a line right out of here. Ow! That first base position where the Reds continues to produce.
Well, for Cairo, he homered the final week of last year in the regular season with the Philadelphia Phillies against the Florida Marlins. So congratulations, Miguel Cairo. Hit number 900 in his last at bat, and hit number 901, the long one. Now Brandon Phillips. 4-1. Now to Brandon, who has walked, stolen a base, and had a hit taken away on a nice play by Neil Walker, the Pirate third baseman, ranging far to his left, and threw out Phillips back in the 3rd inning. Well, what a pretty night. Already you can see the moon in straightaway center field. Still plenty of sunlight left. There you get a look. I mean, that is smack dab and straightaway center, just above the pilot house out there. Ball 4 to Brandon. Well, don't forget about Friday night. It's supposed to be another beautiful night. You can stop down to In Between Tavern Friday at 6 p.m. and get your chance to test your Reds knowledge, win some great prizes, and who knows, you might end up on Reds Live after the game on Fox Sports Ohio with Jeff Pecoro and Jim Day. Be part of all the fun at In Between Tavern. Scott rolling. 0 for 2. Takes high, ball 1. You know, a lot of people ask me after our conversation about In Between Tavern and were you going over there Friday before the game. Folks asked me about it today, and they want to know, are you really going to be there?
I'll be there if you'll be there.
Well, I'm not working that night.
Does it mean you can't go to the In-Between?
Well, yes, it does.
I'm going to try to make it over there. I'll take Jesse with me and we'll head on over. Right, Jess?
Does anybody have a waffle iron around here as a pop-up in the foul ground? It's out of play.
Were those people that were asking you, would they happen to be creditors of mine?
Yes, they were, as a matter of fact.
Well, then I probably won't be able to make it that night.
I was at a business leaders meeting in downtown today, and a number of bank presidents from around the area wanted to know exactly whether or not you would be there. When does Scott Rowland? DJ Carrasco getting loose for the Pirates in their bullpen. Saw the pitch count numbers for Ohlendorf. That's number 75 as he goes to 2-1 on roll.
He's thrown as many as 91 pitches, but that was very early in the year before he went on the disabled list with a bad back. The longest he's pitched in a ball game this year was 2 starts ago against the Cubs, where he went 73 pitches in 6 innings. Originally, as we said earlier, by the Diamondbacks in 2004, 4th round out of Princeton. Then he was traded in 2007 from the Diamondbacks to the New York Yankees in exchange for Randy Johnson. The Yankees also sent over Luis Vizcaíno, Alberto Gonzalez, and Steven Jackson in that deal.
2-1 to Rowland. Runner takes off, and that one is in the air. Pretty well hit to left center field. Millage back to the wall, and he makes a catch.
I thought that ball was hit way better than it was.
And Brandon Phillips racing back to first base here, 2 out in the inning.
Ball sounded great coming off the bat of Scott Rowland. In fact, he kind of stood at home plate and watched it for just a moment. Big part of the ballpark, right under the 379 sign or near it.
So 2 away for Jay Bruce, who has struck out swinging twice.
Ohlendorf, as a Yankee, really didn't have much time to settle in before he was traded a year later in July for Xavier Nady and Damaso Marte. The Pirates picked up several pitchers that are with them, 2 of them in the starting rotation. Ohlendorf, Carsons, and Daniel McCutcheon, who's a starter.
Runner goes down to second base, and the throw arrived at the same time as Phillips, and the ball is jarred loose. And Brandon a stolen base and goes to third. That'll be a throwing error. That's a tough throwing error right there.
Well, they're all tough throwing errors, it seems, for catchers, because they throw it right at the bag. And here, you know, it looks like Ronnie Cedeno gave him a little bit of alligator arms because he didn't want to have his arm be right in the way of where Brandon Phillips is going to slide. He doesn't have his head in there, kind of looking away. Ball goes right underneath him and dead into center field. But Iwamuro's not there to back up. Charging center fielder wasn't there, so Brandon goes to third base.
Let's see if Jay can get him in. He's in a good hitter's count at 2 balls and no strikes.
He's been late on the fastball, even in hitter's counts where he was expecting a fastball. He struck out on one his last time up, swung and missed on a first pitch fastball his first time up. A little extra life Ohlendorf has found against Bruce.
Now he's in another good hitter's count at 3-1. And there's a walk to Jay Bruce. Second walk of the inning, fifth walk in the game for Ohlendorf. Boy, it is nothing shy of a miracle that Ohlendorf has only allowed 2 runs in this game. He's given up 5 walks, 6 hits. That's 11 base runners in 4 2/3 innings.
So when he pitched earlier against the Reds back on May the 10th, in 4 innings, he walked 4 batters, and they yanked him right out of the ballgame after that. He hit 84 pitches in 4 innings. He's been a little bit more efficient tonight. He's just trying to figure out how to get out of this inning now. Joe Kerrigan, former bullpen catcher when I was with the Expos, went on to become an interim manager, field manager for the Boston Red Sox. Anything is possible.
I mean, you two guys go back a long way together. Good friends for many, many years. Now Lance Nix. And there's a fly ball again on the first pitch by Nix, and again straight to Garrett Jones to end the inning. But Miguel Cairo hits his first home run as a Red, making it 2-0.
Fox Sports Ohio, Jim Day with you. I'm in the upper deck by Justin, our trusty high third cameraman. Here for tonight's text poll questions brought to you by Meyer. Right now, all-star voting going on, and of the 8 position players that the fans vote on, 5 are Philadelphia Phillies. So our question is, should fans vote for the starters in the all-star game? Text 1 if you think yes, it's the fans' game, or 2, no, it favors big market teams. Text your votes to 37664. Standard text message rates apply. Results coming up. And guys in the booth, it reminds me of the 70s. Remember when the Reds dominated the All-Star games? And here in Reds country, we all loved it. Now that the shoe's on the other foot, not so sure we like it anymore.
Interesting question. We'll check in and see what the folks at home think about it. Reds are leading 2-0 as they come to bat here in the 6th inning.
All right, well, what's your take on this? Should the All-Star game be rewarded, or be a reward for a player that's having a great first half? Is that what you base your vote on?
Well, you're talking about the fans. I mean,
or is it your favorite player?
It's who they want to see in the game. And I don't have a problem with that.
No, I don't either.
I mean, they're the ones supporting the game day in and day out. There's an infield hit by Evil Mura. But I don't think it's necessarily correct to say, quote-unquote, big market teams. Last time I checked, the Cardinals aren't a big market team.
No, but they draw like a big market
That's
team.
exactly right. So, again, it has more to do with fans. You can't separate fans from big markets. I mean, yeah, there are more fans in bigger markets. There's no question about that. They're more populated.
Well, you can vote online, so you don't have to go to a ball game. But it certainly is an advantage if you play in a market where they draw well.
Line into left field, and all of a sudden the Pirates make a noise to begin this sixth inning. They have 2 on with nobody out, trailing just 2-0.
Pretty good swing right there by Neil Walker. I've been impressed with the way he swings the bat, also with the way Jeff Clement has swung the bat tonight. Walker hit a sizzler back up the middle that Arroyo stabbed and turned into a double play, but not that time. Solid base hit.
Now meeting Andrew McCutchen will get together with the third base coach, Carlos Garcia.
Where you go
or
back.
Tony Beasley, I'm sorry, the third base coach. Carlos Garcia over at first.
Tom, you go back to those first couple of innings where the Reds had runners on base. They had Ohlendorf really on the ropes early before he got any rhythm. And, you know, that would make this inning a lot less worrisome.
Well, they're having McCutchen swing away. Number 3-hole hitter trailing 2-0 here in the sixth. Or at least on the first pitch. The Reds are still not convinced that McCutchen is not running in this at bat. Rolling about even with the bag at third. He'll creep in a step or two. And playing in front of the runner, Walker over at first, is Miguel Cairo. Well, we know he's not bunting now. Short right center, and Phillips out to get it. That's a good play by Brandon Phillips. Because Bruce, playing deep, respecting McCutchen, was never going to make it. At least it didn't look like he was going to make it.
Well, you know, Brandon Phillips makes this play as well as anybody in either league. I mean, he's so fast. He gets a good jump on the ball, and he just has that instinct for being able to make those catches. Over his shoulder. Ocho Cinco's got nothing on him. Except maybe a little dancing.
And now he's got some other show coming up. He's going to be part of some reality show again. 2 on, 1 out. Reds ahead 2-0. Arroyo check of the runners and a pitch, and this could be a double play. Phillips, Cabrera, that's a double play to end the sixth inning. Reds still in front, 2-0. the Coors Light Freeze can. Base hit into right field by Miguel Cairo. Throw to the plate by Garrett Jones, and Hannigan out. At the plate, the tag by Domit. And that is the Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
I'm a little surprised to see Ross Ohlendorf out there to start this bottom of the 6th inning. They nursed him through that last inning. Only 82 pitches, but maybe with the 3 right-handers coming up in the bottom of the order, John Russell said, hey, give me one more.
And Bruce Stubbs hustling all the way, just was thrown out at first on a routine ground ball to short.
Hey, Reds fans, JTM wants to know, how do you 32? Grab a bag of JTM's new 32-count burgers and visit www.howdoyou32.com. For more details, they'll have it right there. JTM, food, family, fun.
So 1 out, nobody on. The Reds batting here in the 6th inning. It's been a good night for Ryan Hannigan. He's drawn a walk and also singled to right center. Broken bat roller. It'll turn into a base hit. That's when you know you're going good.
Well, he's going good, all right. He came into this ball game a .324 batter. Did Ryan Hannigan. The hit he had earlier raised his batting average to .333. This will up it a little bit more. And it also boosts that on-base percentage, a team-leading .435 coming in. He's been on base every time tonight. Getting it done, boy, the Reds catchers.
All right, Bronson Arroyo, he's already put down a bunt for a hit tonight. He's also struck out. Squares around, takes a pitch, ball, strike one. Deadens it perfectly at the first base line. You brought it up earlier, Chris. I mean, there's probably somebody out there who is just as good, but there can't be anybody better in putting down the sacrifice when you need him to than Arroyo.
Yeah, it's almost like he goes up there with a flat bat.
How cool is that?
Wow. Is that playing as far away as it appears to be?
I guess it is. Boy, that was a cool picture. So Arroyo advancing the runner, Hannigan into scoring position, and now it's Orlando Cabrera. 0 for 1. He's walked, stolen a base, knocked in a run with a fly ball to right in the 2nd inning, and then fly to right again in the 5th. Into right center field, and time after time, Cabrera has delivered so many big hits. And look at the base running. Slides in there safely, never broke stride, knowing McCutchen was going to the plate. And the Reds lead it 3-0. Well, you put guys on base, he just gets it done, man.
Well, the clutch inning is one thing. I mean, that's huge right here with another 2-out base hit for Cabrera. But the way he runs the bases, I mean, he takes it to him. I mean, you said it early on when the Reds acquired him over the wintertime. I remember talking to you saying, you know what, this guy's a winning player. And just the way he runs the bases right there, I mean, he attacks the opposition. That's the way you play the game of baseball.
Well, now the batter, Miguel Cairo, he's had a good night. Rolled over foul. You know, I know that as baseball, more and more, you have more people breaking it down from a statistical analysis. And, I mean, it's gotten to a point now where people will argue with you saying, well, RBIs really don't mean that much because, well, this guy had to knock you over. You get a leadoff walk, a guy gets a double, and the runner from first goes to third, and then the next guy grounds out, but he gets credited for the RBI. And what did he really do? All that's fine and dandy for people that have time to sit around and think about all that stuff. But you know what? You put a guy in the number 2 hole on my team who knocks in 77 runs like Cabrera did last year. That guy's a player. And I don't care how many chances he had to knock people in compared to everybody else. The bottom line is he had people out there and he knocked them in. Ohlendorf never looked at Cabrera.
And if it wasn't for 2 strikes being on the hitter, I think Miguel Cairo would have been able to take the pitch. And he would have walked in there for his second stolen base of the night. Take a look at him. He's looking around. There's nobody there to hold him. He goes, I'll just go ahead and take a little jog down here. Nice night for it.
And 2 to Cairo, looking for his 3rd hit tonight.
Only allowed to work once a game.
Gone swinging, or I beg your pardon, Cairo gone swinging to end the inning. But Cabrera gives the Reds a 3-0 lead at the end of 6. MyCincinnatiHondaDealer.com. By Granger, with over 900,000 products for the ones who get it done. And by Wendy's. You know when it's real. One of 2 Arms Bark in the Park nights. Here at Great American Ballpark, 650 dogs in attendance. They sold out every single ticket the day they went on sale. Had some great festivities before the game. Had the smallest dog, largest dog, best dog trick. Dog that looks most like its owner.
That's always my favorite contest.
And, of course, all the various vendors from around town and the great folks from SPCA Cincinnati and all the wonderful work they do. Many people don't realize, I mean, they're the ones that basically are our animal care and control for all of Hamilton County. There's a pop-up in the shallow center field, and it's handled by Stubbs for the first out in the 7th inning.
Now, I know that most dogs are housebroken. The question I have is now, are most of those dogs, or all of those dogs, or even some of those dogs out there, ballpark broken? And if not, who's responsible?
I don't know, but they were great before the game. They, obviously I'm not out there in the stands. I know they set up various places where the dogs can go to the bathroom, set out in that area by the Himes blow-up dog out there in right center field, right down the right field line. But they have that huge area, the plaza area over there. It was a lot of fun. Boy, and you know what? Nicest people in the world.
Yeah, they are.
Our pet owners.
I was out there last year with our dog. Had a great time.
To Lastings Millage. Tuesday, September the 14th will be our next Bark in the Park. There's a liner, and Brandon Phillips leaping into the air to snatch that one away. The man has hops, as they say in this day and age.
Hang time for Brandon Phillips. You got to time it perfectly and get way up there to do it. Well, he's good for one highlight every night, isn't he?
Every night. Every night. Easier time of it here for who? Hannigan? Yes. Inning over. Nice bounce back inning for Arroyo. Allowed 2 hits in the 6th. A 1-2-3-7. They stand and stretch or leap and stretch. Gold Glove at second base in the National League, and then Orlando Hudson, who had won it the 2 prior years, came back to win it again last year, but now Hudson is playing for the Minnesota Twins. So perhaps Brandon Phillips will begin a long, extended run as a second base Gold Glove winner. Beautiful night for baseball here at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. Final remnants of daylight fading away. Reds have a 3-0 lead as DJ Carrasco takes over for the Pirates here in the bottom of the 7th inning. A couple of other changes for the Pirates defensively here in the 7th inning. Delwyn Young will take over in right field, and Garrett Jones will come in and take over for Clement at first base. So that means that Delwyn Young will bat in the 9 spot, which means he's due up second in the 8th inning. Oh, and 2 to Brandon, has walked, stolen a base, bounced to third, then walked again and stole another base. Brandon now with 6 steals on the year. He's been thrown out 5 times. Tapper back to Carrasco. 1 out. Well, you can enjoy Sundays at the ballpark with the entire family. This Sunday, in fact, the first 10,000 kids 18 and younger in attendance will receive a full-size red skateboard deck thanks to Coca-Cola. Race seats still available for the Reds and Astros this Sunday by calling 381-REDS, 381-REDS, 513 area code, or visit reds.com/family. Here's Scott Rowland. Ball 1. So Ohlendorf hangs in there tonight. Goes 6 innings. He gives up 8 hits and 3 runs. All 3 runs earned. Struck out 5 batters and walked 5 batters.
It's a lot of base runners. I mean, you pitch a game like that if you're Ross Ohlendorf and you're saying thank you very much for some defense and also some timely non-hitting by the opposition. 13 base runners in 6 innings. That's a formula for usually a disaster.
Roller fouled by Rowland, and the count goes to 3-2. Look over across the river into the Commonwealth. All the happenings there in Covington. Of course, a lot going on in Newport as well, and a lot happening in downtown Cincinnati. They're talking about opening that garage to the Banks project this coming weekend. Wow. There's a check swing and a miss by Rowland, but they say he didn't go around, so he takes a walk. I mean, they are really flying along, and of course, in the very near future, we will have a casino in downtown Cincinnati. There's a lot going on.
Now you got Taste of Cincinnati coming up. Is that this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
That's always a big weekend.
Yep. Jay Bruce, a hot smash into left field, ricochets off the glove of Cedeno. Undoubtedly a base hit for Bruce. His first hit tonight, second time he's been on base.
Now Jay Bruce happy to see the starter Ross Ohlendorf out of there, and he hits this ball very sharply right where it was pitched, away. And because of the shortstop, Ronnie Cedeno snugged a little bit towards second base for a double play ball. not able to get over there in time to be able to flag that baby down. Hit very sharply. So Bruce picks up his first.
So now 2 on for Lance Nix with 1 out. Nix has played Pepper with the right fielder. All 3 at bats tonight.
The Pepper's when you hit a ground ball to an infielder. Same time, you know, you play the game. I think when you hit it to the outfielder, right fielder every time. You remember that old game 500 used to play out in the street?
Oh, yeah.
He's playing 500 with the right fielder.
Much better play. Better write that down, too. On the inside corner, 1-1 to Nix.
You get writer's cramp around me.
Well, you're not lying. Brain cramps.
Well, that comes naturally to both of us.
Or just plain cramps.
Speak for yourself.
2 on, 1 out, 1-1 to Nix. Hit hard. Nice play at first. There's one. Relay throw to the pitcher, and not in time. It's pretty well done right there by the Pirates. They nearly pulled off a very slick double play.
Yeah, that's about the toughest way to get a double play at all. 3-6-1. It was hit very sharply, and going towards second base is the first baseman. So they can make that play easily enough, but to try to hit that pitcher covering first base on the run, that's the tough part. Lance Nix runs well.
All right, now they're on the corners for Drew Stubbs. Drew has 2 hits tonight. Single to left, scored the first run of the night in the second inning, and an infield hit in the 4th. And then bounced to the shortstop his last time up. Breaking ball away from him is low. Reds leading 3-0, trying to add to it. And there's ball 2. Ball 3. And a 4-pitch walk to load him up. Walk have loaded him with 2 men out here in the Reds' 7th inning for Ryan Hannigan, who's been on base all 3 times up tonight. He drew a walk in the second inning, was thrown out of the plate by Garrett Jones to end that frame. Has since singled to right center, singled to left, and scored a run. Well, Hannigan with a chance to really break this thing wide open. Pirates still very much in it, down 3-0. And Hannigan waiting. Ground ball, the first pitch will retire the side. So the Reds leave them loaded. Reds have stranded 11 and lead 3-0. getting it done. Walk, stole the base in the first inning, knocked in a run with a sac fly in the second inning. Then in the sixth, a 2-out run scoring single to right center field. So a 1-for-2 night. 2 runs batted in, a stolen base for Orlando Cabrera. All right, Bronson Arroyo begins the 8th inning. That's his 95th pitch of the night. Coming off a 1-2-3 7th inning, he'll face Cedeno Delwin Young and then Iwamura. Arroyo has been so good here tonight.
He really has. You know, he looked like he had a little bit of tough time getting the transition from the bullpen to the game in the first inning. But beyond that, he has just used all of his pitches and used them well.
Which goes to show you, if we were to go back and replay the first 2 batters of this game and then just say, okay, what do you think? Arroyo going to be hanging around in the 8th inning working on a shutout? No way.
Yep. He's a competitor, boy, I'll tell you what.
I love the story that John Fay wrote in the Enquirer last week after Arroyo's last start about everything that he does in between starts to get himself both physically and mentally ready. I mean, let's face it, you look at Bronson Arroyo, and you're not going to think about some Adonis-like physique. But don't let it fool you. This guy very much pays attention to having his body ready for every single start, every part of his body. He talked in great detail about, you know, one time maybe it's your shoulder, next time maybe it's your elbow, making sure you get in the weight room to do your leg work. But maybe you don't want to run because you feel a little run down, so you find something different to do. We know about swimming. And then all the mental parts of it. Talked about, you know, getting in the video room.
Well, they give him the leeway to kind of follow his own program, and he's not going to shortchange himself because he knows what it takes. Now, some other pitchers, younger pitchers, it's more likely for ball clubs to just kind of get them into a routine that is almost the same for everybody. But there are times in the middle of the year when it's hot and you don't want to run too much. You don't want to hit the weights too much that week because you are run down. Maybe you threw a few extra pitches in the last outing that, you know, you want to give yourself a little bit more recoup time. Maybe there are times in the bullpen that you really don't have to go down there and work on a lot of stuff. You just kind of play catch. And it keeps you in the groove. And Arroyo has always been one of these pitchers that has been very much in tune with himself. And as far as his body and how he feels. And he's a real field pitcher, obviously, because you can see that in the way he approaches the game. He just doesn't rear back and try to fog it by you.
Cedeno making him work here to begin the inning. 9th pitch of this at bat. And it's capped off by a base hit into right field. 5th hit tonight for the Pirates against Arroyo. The Reds have double barrel action in their pen. The right-hander is Nick Massett. The left-hander is Daniel Ray Herrera. You know, baseball a funny game, and certainly we don't see the Pirates play regularly. So, you know, it's a little tough to question what John Russell is doing with his lineup in terms of who's in there and who's not. But Delwin Young had 3 doubles in the series open, and that's the first at bat we've seen him since. 3 doubles. One on, one out, back to the top of the order. Akinori Iwamura is 1 for 2, has walked, bounced to the mound, and has an infield hit.
Well, you'd love to see a ground ball right here. Get Bronson Arroyo out of this inning and keep his pitch count low enough. That would be the third double play of the year. In fact, he has had 2 tonight, which runs his total for the year to 7. That is only one behind Mike Leake, who leads the Reds pitching staff with 8 of them.
To Iwamura. Strike 2. Fastball after fastball, and that one getting up there to 90 miles an hour. That's one of the better fastballs Arroyo's thrown tonight on his 107th pitch of the game. Trying to get back to the 7 games over 500 mark. That is their high water mark of the year. Every time they get to 7, with that chance to get to 8. Since midway through that 2006 season, they've been denied. And now the 0-2 pitch. Fastball up and into Iwamura. And again, the Cardinals will go at it later tonight in San Diego. Kevin Cabrera will start it for the Padres, and Jaime Garcia, rookie left-hander, on the mound for St. Louis. Ronnie Cedeno, the runner at first, held on by Miguel Cairo. He'll draw a throw. Both Massett and Herrera are ready in the Reds bullpen. Two and 2 to Iwamura.
Good idea right there. Had him 0-2, threw a couple of fastballs up, and then came inside on the fastball and was hoping that Iwamura would chase that little changeup down and away right there and roll over on it. You know, Iwamura kind of bails as he swings, which makes the curveball kind of a dangerous pitch to throw him. It breaks right into where he's running. So chances are Arroyo's going to stay away, either with something hard or maybe a little changeup away.
Iwamura, a pair of home runs this year, 8 runs batted in. Cedeno a short lead at first, and now Arroyo off the rubber. Pretty good battles in this inning for Arroyo. Cedeno to begin the inning had a 9-pitch at bat before he singled to right. And now Iwamura making him work. And that pitch count, which began at 94 to start this 8th inning, the next pitch will be 112. Trying to get behind Arroyo here. Fouled away barely.
Well, he went fastball, then changeup. 89 the previous pitch, 79 that pitch. Iwamura just being a little pesky right now.
A 9-pitch at bat for Cedeno to begin the inning. This is pitch number 9 in this at bat with Iwamura. And it's in the air. Playable for Jay Bruce. So Cedeno got him on pitch number 9. Arroyo takes care of Uemura on pitch number 9. Don't forget the Reds and the Astros gather at Great American Ballpark this weekend. Friday night fireworks night, Joey Votto collectible figurine night Saturday. And the entire series is presented by KOI Auto Parts. Call 513-381-REDS or visit reds.com today. Night game, day game over the weekend. Now Dusty Baker, a smile, a grin, knowing the 2 battles that Arroyo has had already in this 8th inning. Arroyo looks like he I was starting to say maybe you might want to hang in there, but boy, it's a lot of pitches to get through in a couple of key at-bats.
Well, you know, Bronson Arroyo is not one of these guys that want to talk himself into a game when he feels like he's run out of gas. He's smart enough to do that, and he'll let Dusty Baker remove him and bring in a fresh arm.
And a big round of applause for Arroyo, who tips his cap to the crowd. Our Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. They're sending the wrong guy out of the pen. Five hits, they've committed 3 errors. Bronson Arroyo, following Mike Leake's outstanding effort last night, goes 7 2/3 innings, allows 5 hits. He walks 2 unintentionally. And the only 3 batters he struck out is when he fanned the side in the 3rd inning. And now taking over, we talked about him from the very start of the game. Nick Massick trying to get it back together and find his stuff from a year, his success anyway, from a year ago. Arroyo hoping the bullpen can nail it down, give him his 5th win of the year. What an outstanding start by Arroyo. All right, here's Massick to face Neil Walker. And there's ball 1 in the dirt. Bassett, of course, last night gave up the tie-breaking home run in the 9th inning to Ryan Doman. It's the 3rd time in his last 5 appearances that Bassett has been scored upon, and the 2nd time in his last 5 outings where he's been the loser in the game. And he gives up a base hit into left center field. And now the tying run will come to the plate.
Well, I think there may have been a couple of different reasons why Dusty Baker decided to make the move right here. Number one, maybe he felt like Bronson Arroyo was running out of gas. Maybe Arroyo said something to him. Number two, after giving up a home run last night, the deciding home run in that ball game, I think you want to get your pitcher who gave up that home run right back out there. You got to get his confidence up. Nick Massett, for this team to do well, Nick Massett needs to pitch like he did last year, which is on that left side of the column there, with a 237 earned run average, not up around 7. Because you need good setup help, and he's certainly capable if he can get the ball located where he wants to.
Tying one to the plate is Andrew McCutchen. First pitch breaking ball is high, ball 1. McCutchen 0 for 3. But he is a tying run at the plate. The Reds have left 11 runners on base and have missed numerous chances in this game tonight to just break this thing wide open. And the 11 left on base, by the way, are in 6 innings. Because in the 3rd inning, the Reds were retired in order. One on McCutchen. 96-mile-per-hour fastball, throws it right by. And now the 1-2. Foul away. In the dirt, and both runners will advance. On the wild pitch by Massett, Cedeno on to 3rd, and Walker on to 2nd base.
Well, Nick Massett right now showing the classic signs of overthrowing. One of the reasons is that he throws when he tries to overthrow that fastball, as he did to Neil Walker, got the ball up in the zone. Here you try to throw the best breaking ball you can. You put too much effort into it, and you bounce it away in front of home plate. I mean, it's one thing to tell the guy, sit back and relax. It's another thing to actually be able to do that out on the mound in a tight situation. Not an easy thing to accomplish.
Close pitch. Massett does not get the call. Ball 4. Well, now if you're Dusty Baker, do you come get Massett? It appears he will. Boy, and the struggles continue for this enormously talented Reds right-hander, Nick Massett. He faces 2 batters, gives up a hit and a walk. And a walk after he was ahead of the batter at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the Pirates will bring the go-ahead run to the plate. We'll be back. with MLB.com's at-bat 2010. Don't miss a moment. Log on to Reds.com today. Well, all of a sudden, this 8th inning began with the Reds in front 3-0. It's still 3-0. But unfortunately, has gotten far too interesting. The Pirates have loaded the bases with 2 men out and now on to pitch Daniel Ray Herrera.
Well, lefty versus lefty right here for Herrera. He usually takes care of the left-handers. The thing that worries you about Herrera right here is the first batter efficiency. Only a little over 50% of the time does he retire the first batter. Bases loaded right here. 1 out away from getting out of this inning.
Down the right field line, foul and out of play off the bat of Garrett Jones. Cedeno, the runner at third. Neil Walker, the runner at second. Andrew McCutchen at first. I'm sure many are wondering why not Arthur Rhodes. You can't pitch this guy every day. Other people in this Reds bullpen are going to have to get people out besides Arthur Rhodes.
And you got to get them going, too, these other guys in the bullpen. I said that Herrera usually gets the lefties out. Last year, he was excellent in that department. This year, lefties are hitting him a little better than right-handers. But he's way ahead in the count right here, and he can expand the strike zone.
0-2 the count. Drop foul off to the third base side, out of play.
You know, it seems like when Herrera's made mistakes, he's gone away from his best pitches, and his best pitches are breaking balls. His screwball to right-handers, his curveball that you see right there, or his slider. Then he tries to back a hitter off the plate with a little fastball and just misses and gets some of the dish, and that's when they get the hits off of him.
0-2 to Jones with the bases loaded. And this is off the outside edge, ball 1.
Go right back out there. This guy really likes to pull the ball.
Two and two.
Now Jones has to figure he's going to get a strike on this pitch. With McCutchen's speed at first base, you go 3-2 and let the runners in motion. A double ties his ball game.
2-2 to Garrett Jones. Struck him out swinging. Daniel Ray Herrera fired up, and why not? Crowd on its feet. Pirates leave them loaded. Still 3-0. Bronson Arroyo, 7 2/3 of 5-hit shutout baseball.
Couple of double plays to his credit, Bronson Arroyo. Good, solid outing overall.
Pirates again will turn to their bullpen. Daniel Ray Herrera able to take care of business, striking out Garrett Jones in the top of this 8th inning, leaving him loaded. And now on the pitch, Brendan Donnelly. Since being activated with a strained left oblique off the disabled list on Thursday, Donnelly has made 3 scoreless appearances. Guy just keeps hanging around.
I'll tell you what, the guy's awfully tough on right-handers, too. They're hitting $150 off of him. Limited amount of time, only 26 at bats, but still. He runs that fastball in on him right there. Now, Paul Janisch not on the team. He's on the bereavement list, visiting his grandmother, or his family at the passing of his grandmother. They filled his roster spot with Drew Sutton.
Chris Heisy off the Reds bench puts a charge into one and a home run for Heisy. That's a big run right there for the Reds. Making it a 4-0 game for Heisy, his 3rd home run, 2 of them pinch hit home runs.
Boy, this young man's got a quick bat, and does he pack some punch? Pow! Inner third, goes down to get it. What a good swing by Heisy. And he has come up huge off the bench.
We had a game-tying home run in the 9th inning last week off Billy Wagner in Atlanta. That was a week ago tonight.
Hit a triple the day before.
Brendan Donnelly has to be another one of those guys, and we brought up Troy Gloss's name when the Reds were in Atlanta. The Dusty Baker, every time he sees him, must have nightmares about. Donnelly was the setup man for the Anaheim Angels back in 2002, 2003, heck, all the way through 2006. And he was just about the best right-handed setup man in the game. And during that 2002 World Series, pitching for the Angels against Dusty's Giants, in the 7-game World Series, Donnelly pitched in 5 games, 7 2/3 innings, 1 hit, no runs. Boy, that is doing it as a reliever in the postseason. In fact, during the league championship series that year, he had really struggled in the LCS and then just dominated the Giants in the World Series. To Miguel Cairo. I'm not sure where that ball got him. Did it get him in the head? Or did he get the shoulder up in time to prevent that from happening? Back of the shoulder. Down in the Reds bullpen after the home run by Heisy a moment ago. With a 4-0 lead, it will not be a safe situation when the Pirates bat in the 9th. Cordero was up and getting loose. I'm not going to say strangely continues to throw. But this would not be a safe situation, and that's a double play to end the Reds' 8th inning. We'll see who's coming in. Del Rosario's warming up alongside Cordero. The Heisy home run sends us to the 9th with the Reds in front, 4-0. Play of the game. Phillips, Cabrera, Cairo.
Now that was a nice level play.
Well, it is not a save situation, but Francisco Cordero, the Reds closer, will come on anyway. Pitching in his 26th game. That's 3rd most in the National League. In fact, Cordero and Massett are tied for the 3rd most appearances in the National League so far this year. And really, you get both sides of the spectrum. And Chris, you and I were talking about this in between innings. You know, you talk to some relievers and they'll tell you that, well, you got me up, so you may as well bring me in. And then other relievers will say, well, you know, it doesn't take very long to get up. And if you don't come in, then it's the 12 or 15 or 17 or 20 pitches that you end up not throwing. Right. So it's not like you've been used in a game. What do you think about it? I know you were primarily a starter.
Yeah, I pitch out of the bullpen never as a closer and never really much as a setup guy. But the way we tried to make it is that if you weren't sure you were either going to get in the game or not, you get loose, but you get within about 8 to 10 pitches of being ready to get in the game. So that way, when they call your name for down in the bullpen, you can get 2 quick pitches left in the bullpen, and then you get your other 7 or 8 here on the mound ready for the ballgame.
Slow roller off the bat of Gentleman, and Phillips will throw him out. You'd love to see Cordero have an easy, quick 9th inning. The Reds do not have another off day until a week from tomorrow. They got one more tomorrow night here against the Pirates. Friday, Saturday, Sunday against Houston. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in St. Louis. Lasting's Millage digging in. Reds gunning for their 3rd shutout as a team. The Pirates trying to keep from being shut out for the 7th time this year. Chris, I know you're, as always, very much looking forward to the postgame show. It's always a lot more fun when you talk about a Reds win.
No kidding about that, Tom. I always am ready to talk about a Reds win, and delighted and honored to be joined by you in the postgame show.
And there's a 4-pitch walk to Lasting's Millage.
Now remember, after every Reds game, Fox Sports Ohio will break down the game and talk to the players and coaches on Reds Live, brought to you by Kings Honda in the Kings Auto Mall. Visit KingsHondaUSA.com.
Look forward to seeing you on there.
I'll be there. Just to your right.
Now Ryan Church, he'll come on to bat for the pitcher, Brendan Donnelly, who gives up a run, his only inning of work, surrendering the home run to Heisy. Fastball on the inside corner for strike 2. Already a glance at Millage. And a fastball misses low and in. A ball and 2 strikes on Ryan Church. Church, 1 of 6 is a pinch hitter. 1 of 6 in his career against Cordero. And Cordero has struck him out 4 times. Trying to make it a 5th right here. Almost hit it.
Oddly enough, here we're seeing Francisco Cordero pitching inside, and inside a lot here to Ryan Church. We've commented over the last few weeks how we've noticed a trend for Cordero pretty much to stay away from the hitters.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Pirates are down to their final out.
Yeah, good looking changeup right there by Francisco Cordero. Set it up with a hard cutter inside. Had Church looking for somewhere else and way out ahead of that one. Nicely done.
Cedeno, no easy out. He's proven that game after game, at least against the Reds. He struck out his first time up, has since walked intentionally, and had a single to right field in a 9-pitch at bat against Arroyo in the 8th. Bronson in line for the win. No save here for Cordero, but he's just trying to wrap this thing up. 1-1. Ohlendorf, the pitcher of record for the Bucks. Two balls and a strike to Ronnie Cedeno. Two and 2. Reds trying to set the pace in the National League Central by getting an early win, early in terms of time here tonight, and force the Cardinals to tee him up in San Diego, just moments away from that one getting underway, with full knowledge that the Reds have already won their game. Shot roll to Phillips. A job well done tonight by Cordero. And the Reds win it by a final count of 4-0. see Herrera and Cordero combining on the shutout here tonight. The Reds needed that one, and they went out and got it thanks to Arroyo.
Well, they needed a good, long pitching performance by their starter. They got that from Bronson Arroyo. They had good pitching last night with Mike Leake taking command of the ball game. And, you know, you're going to play the Pirates and have a low-run ball game. You better play some good defense. The Reds played errorless defense. The Pirates made 3 errors on the night, and the Reds end up on top 4-zip. They've taken 2 out of 3 so far, with 1 more to go against John Russell's Buccos.
So the Reds back to 7 games over 500. They'll try and go to 8 games over for the first time tomorrow. We'll talk about that shortly.